Hello everyone, and welcome to one of my replays of World of Warships. Today I'm sailing the Tier 4 Ishizuchi, which is a premium Japanese battleship that I acquired thanks to the Santa gifts that you could send in the game over the Christmas break. At first I was avoiding this ship. It's Tier 4. Tier 4 battleships are notorious for being slow. They have very weak anti-aircraft defenses, and this one is probably the worst in that category. And they're just underpowered, and I don't know. Maybe people don't like to play them because they're just lumbering beasts. But I've discovered that I think this is my favorite low-tier battleship out of any of them. Now, the range on the ship is terrible. My main guns only have a range of 12.9 kilometers, but I'm spotted at 16.1 kilometers. So any ship can see me at 16.1 kilometers, but I can't fire until they close within just under 13. Well, normally that's a pretty big problem for a battleship. You're outranged by just about everything. I think it's the worst ranged battleship, certainly at Tier 4. But once anything gets inside of my range, and I found this out, this is a very powerful ship. I'm sailing with a couple of other battleships. I've got a Texas in front of me. He's got great AA. And there's another battleship to my left, a Kaiser, another Tier 4, the Tier 4 German. And I don't want to be out front. If I'm out front, I'm going to be targeted. The other battleships or cruisers are going to see me first, and they're going to aim for me. I do not have very good armor. I cannot take very good hits to the side. So I'd rather another battleship be in front of me. He can take the hits. Now, I'm going to do something a little bit unorthodox today. And I found that I do this every match I have with the Ishizuchi. I never fire anything but high explosives. HE on this ship is outstanding. I have a 33% chance of fire, and that's just the base. So if I hit somebody with an HE shell, I've got a 33% chance of setting them on fire. I've also added the Captain's Perk that gives me an extra 2% chance of fire, and I have a couple of flags, I believe, on my ship to give me another 2%. So I've got about a 37% chance of a fire if I fire high explosives. And traditionally, that's just about all I use on the ship. There are occasions where I'll switch to HE if there's a cruiser beside me and it's up close, but for the most part, only HE. Oh, I missed with my first salvo. And my Texas that was in front of me has slowed down. Just lost a destroyer in front of us, but there's a German, a Russian cruiser right in front of me, low health, and I finish him off. I got one fire started, but that didn't do any damage. It was my shells that did it. And now there's another cruiser that's trying to get away, a Dene. I think I get him. No, just miss. He's inside my range. I'm getting him under about 10 kilometers. Pretty accurate. And it looks like I might get him. Oh, just missed. So, I'm turning the corner. There's a torpedo strike to my right, but it's going after the cruiser, Svetlana. I notice there's a battleship around the corner. Kaiser, and I give them all 10 rounds of my HE. And I get one fire started, and you can see from the counter in the top right of the screen, he's burning. Which is good news for me, because it's just racking up points. He's put out the fire. Oh no, the fire's still going. Now I turn around because I think that the torpedo strikes are coming, but then I notice the ships are not coming around the corner, so Wyoming is followed up. And I give him a shot just trying to get over this mountain, and I aim too far ahead, so I miss. I believe the Kaiser comes around the corner right after that. Now I know he was on fire a few minutes ago, and he's not burning anymore, which means he's put out the fire. He takes a shot at me. I'm still to reload. Since his fire's out, it means his damage consumable has been used, and I'm going to try and set him on fire again and watch him burn. And I set him on fire in 2 locations, so he's really burning now. And he's not going to be able to put it out for at least a minute. And that's going to rack up the damage. Notice the numbers climbing pretty steadily, about 600 every 4 seconds or so. Give him another round. Another 10 rounds of HE. And I start a 3rd fire on him. I do a little damage, but I start a 3rd fire. He's going to be burning on 3 spots for about 30 seconds. And that's going to do a ton of damage. I taunt him a little bit. Burn a while for me, I say. And I spelled 4 wrong. And my damage number is starting to rise more. 30,000 damage. 31. 32. 33. And so I'm doing about 900 damage, 800 damage every 4 seconds now. No, one of his fires has gone out, I think, so I give him another few rounds. Oh, somebody set me on fire, but I'm on full health, so I don't really care. Do another 1,000 damage to the Kaiser. My rear guns are loaded and ready to go. Some more. Another 1,000 damage, 2,000 and 3,000 damage. Shot down a plane in the Ishizuchi, which is very rare. Try to finish this guy off. Someone else set him on fire. Put out his fire for this repair. And I gotta finish him off before somebody else does, because I'll get an award if I do. And boom. Finish him off. My first medal, Arsonist award, which you get for burning somebody down 40% of their health and then killing them. No, I'm pulled too far ahead. I took quite a bit of damage there, so I'm gonna try and retreat. I'm gonna sort of fighting retreat, shoot as I go. The Wyoming. I'm gonna try and get him burning now. I love shooting battleships in these ships. They burn so easily. Okay, now he had already used his repair, and so it was still active when I fired that salvo. But these 4 rounds, I think, hit him and set him on fire after his repair had cooled down. So he is going to burn for about 90 seconds. Give him another 6 rounds. And I set him on fire again. He's going to burn 2 locations for about 75 seconds. Now I notice there's a torpedo strike coming in on me. I was hugging the mountain here so that he couldn't launch from my right. So he had to swing in front of me and then come around on my left. And at this point, I decided to turn the ship to face the torpedo strike because I know it's coming on my left. And this guy totally messes up, and he drops it too far in front of me, too early, and I'm able to beat all the torpedoes. The Ishizuchi's not a bad ship for its turn. Because it has so little anti-aircraft, you can hear it. I'm not even firing any anti-aircraft guns at this torpedo planes. It's just not good at shooting down planes. So I was lucky there. I should have taken a torpedo or 2 at least if he had lined up properly and maybe did a manual drop. Now at this point, I had seen that there was a Tier 5 Congo that was near the D5 line. There he is. I think I spot him for just a second here. You can see on my mini-map there's a battleship on the D8 line. And he just killed our cruiser in that area. So there's a Congo, Tier 5, very dangerous ship. He's a higher level than I am, and he's on pretty much full health. And I noticed that he was up here. I thought he might swing around, but then he never came around this corner, so I figured he cut south and was heading towards the B cap. my heal is up. I'm still at about 80% health. I'm feeling pretty good at this stage. I've sunk 2 ships, 65,000 damage. It's not bad for me. The Ishizuchi is pretty good at giving me high numbers of damage. Like I said, I really love this ship. And I've only fired HE so far, so not bad. Now I know there's a destroyer that was nearby with the Congo. There must be a ship in our B cap because you can see it's contested. We're not getting any points off B. So there's a destroyer on our team in B, and there must be a destroyer on the enemy team that's also in B. And you can see the Congo is heading for B as well, trying to flush out our destroyer, maybe force him to reveal himself so they can both sink him. And I say to myself, I see this Congo is going to slip in between these 2 islands. Maybe I can get him, snipe him, and set him on fire as well. It's right about now that I decide that I'm going to slam on the brakes and get maybe the most opportunity to shoot the Congo. Yep, so I'm reducing speed. He's about to come around this corner. And you can see there is a destroyer in our B cap. Right there, Clemson. And the Congo is luckily looking in the direction. So I let him have it. I do about 8,000 damage and set him on fire, which is pretty good for a salvo from the Ishizuchi. And he's still not looking at me. I speed up now because I know he's going to get behind this giant rock beside me. Hit him, but no damage. Trying to get him on the back on the tail side. I get a fire, but he's already used his damage repair and is still active, so he does not catch on fire. At this point, you can see the Clemson is turning because he sees me. I get a couple more rounds into the Congo. Knock out as one of his secondaries. I think I get his tail here. Yep, I get a fire right on his backside, so he's going to burn for about 90 seconds as well. And my damage, as you can see, it's still rising. And I know that Clemson saw me, so he's going to be coming north, and he's going to steam around this island to try and tort me. Now, I know he's there, and I know he's coming, so I turn my ship to avoid any torpedoes that might pop up. I sort of know that I have a few seconds before he shows up, so I take a shot at the Kaiser, set him on fire. Twice, set him on fire twice. Now I know the cruiser's coming, so I turn, and you can see I'm turning my guns, and there he is. Okay, Clemson, you can see he's on about 75% health. Now here's where I'm lined up. He gets the speed boost to try and get closer to me. My secondaries open up, and I give him everything. And I erase him. And the Witherer medal. Witherer is a really, really hard thing to do. You have to get 60,000 fire or flooding damage in a match. And so that means I've got 60,000 of my damage so far has been just from fire. Not the shells, but the fire caused by the shells. Now that Kaiser that was steaming towards me there has put out his fires, his 2 fires. And he's coming around this island. And I noticed that I'm sailing away from the battle, and it's not where I want to be. The enemy team has 2 of their capture points, and we are behind on points. At this point, if I sail away, the Kaiser can just stop behind that island and do nothing, and we will not win. We will lose. So I decide to turn the ship around, and we're going to face the Kaiser. I have a feeling that he's going to come around the island right around here, but he just doesn't show up. I'm waiting for him to show up, and he never shows, so I decide to swing the ship around. We'll take him head on, maybe set him on fire again. And sure enough, here comes the Kaiser. He hits me pretty hard. I use my damage repair, and I set him on fire in 2 spots again. High caliber metal. And he's burning in 2 locations, so he's going to be burning quite heavily for about a minute or so. He hits me again here pretty hard, I believe. Yeah, he hits me very hard. I hit him. I set him on fire in a third location, knock out one of his AA guns, but that doesn't mean anything. But now he's burning in 3 locations, and you can see I'm getting about 800, 900 damage every 4 seconds. Hits me hard again, and I barely do any damage to him, but now he runs aground. And you can see I'm down to 6,000 health. He's actually at higher health than I am at this point. I think my reload is a little bit faster than his. I have a reload every 25 seconds, I believe. And I angle my ship so that my Citadel, I give him all 10 barrels, set him on fire again. He's burning. Down to 600 health. I take a little bit of damage. 500, 200. Boom. Another Arsonist medal. 2 Arsonist medals. And my 4th kill of the match. And we are slightly behind on points now. Now, they were able to sink the Congo without me, which is big because that battleship is tough. Our Texas must have taken him out. I didn't see the notification at the bottom of the screen. I begin repairing some health, and I'm detected. Now, they still have a carrier and a destroyer on their team, and I'm worried that the destroyer might be coming up to get me. But then I notice there's an airplane that's flying behind my ship. Some fighter squadron that's back here. And I'm not really worried about the fighters. My anti-aircraft will shoot at them a little bit, but I won't shoot any of them down. But then I see that their destroyer is quite south of me, steaming north. I'm just going to go into the sea cap, secure it, and make sure that we have all 3 caps in case the destroyer or the aircraft carrier sinks one of our teammates. We're down to 2 minutes left in the game. It's pretty much a sure thing if we can capture all 3 caps. So I decided the safe thing to do would be go for the 3rd cap instead of going for the Kraken Award. But pretty much that's the rest of the match. I do get the cap, a solo cap, and I end up doing nearly 140,000 damage in the Tier 4 Ishizuchi. All thanks to HE. I get a ton of medals. I end up getting, I think, about 5,000, maybe closer to 6,000 experience at the end of the match. That's with the camo and the flags, but not the daily boost because I've already won a match in this ship today. So, not a bad match for me. 140,000 damage is actually a very good match for me. I end up capping, and because of that, the enemy team basically has to sink a ship right now, or else we're going to win. And they do not end up sinking our battleships, and so we take the win. This has been another World of Warships replay. I hope you enjoy, and I would highly recommend the Tier 4 Ishizuchi, HE only. It's just a fun ship to play. Setting fires and then watching the enemy team put out the fires only to be set on fire 15-20 seconds later is a real easy way to rack up the damage. And when you have a fast reloading battleship like this, it just makes it all the more fun. Alright, 37 seconds to go. I say GG, good game, and we end up taking it. Thanks for watching. Have a great night.